why isn't my prayer being answered? That's a question I'm sure you've asked yourself before. I know I've asked myself that question many times, and it's been a journey for me to see how God really operates, and that he is a good father, and because he's a good father, he does not ignore his children. He answers every single prayer immediately. Just as you would respond to someone who's speaking to you, you would not just pretend like you didn't hear them or leave them hanging as they're waiting for an answer. Although for us, we may receive the answer and not realize that it's the answer, or it may not be the answer that we're looking for because we have a preconceived notion of what it will look like and how it will appear when God answers that prayer. And because that muddies the water a little bit, we don't always recognize that he is speaking, that he is helping us to get closer, if not to just receive it outright. And that's what I really want to focus on today, is the times when he brings us to that promised land. He answers that prayer and we don't feel ready for it. He knows we're ready for it, which is why he brought it to us, why he answered that prayer, but we don't feel ready for it. And so when it comes, we reject it outright and then feel frustrated that we're not where we want to be. And we have a really great example in the Old Testament with the children of Israel. They are praying for deliverance from their captivity, from their bondage, and wanting to go somewhere where they can be free, where they can enjoy their life. And we all want that, right? We all have things that hold us back, that we feel like we are slaves to. And we want freedom from that so that we can enjoy the better things that life has to offer and the experiences that God has in store for us. But after only 11 days of travel, once they are finally free from Egypt, they arrive at the promised land. And then after a little bit of recon, the 12 members that represented each tribe that went out to investigate the land and bring back a report, they brought wonderful, delicious, plump fruits, and it was a really beautiful and bountiful land. But yet it was inhabited by people that they felt intimidated by. And they thought, there's no way that this place is for us, as beautiful, as gorgeous, as wonderful as it would be. There's no way we'll be able to enjoy this or have this. And because of that doubt, even though it was delivered to them, they were not ready to receive it. They didn't feel that they could handle it or that they could receive it. And that is something that I have experienced in my own life. I remember a time when I prayed for something very, very specific, was very detailed in this particular experience that I wanted, and all the criteria and elements that I wanted to be a part of this. And within a few days, this opportunity presented itself to me, not only in the entirety of what I had envisioned, but even better. And in that moment, I didn't recognize it as an answer to prayer. I just let my mind wander to all the ways I wasn't ready for this, all the ways that this could come crashing down or blow up in my face or just prove that I wasn't good enough to have what I really wanted. And so then that opportunity went by and I didn't pursue it because I felt intimidated by it. And then as I recognized, like, wait, that's literally what I was asking for. And it was almost just without me even having to do anything. I was just going about my everyday life and it just fell into my lap. And then about a week and a half later, exact same circumstances, to a T. And I thought, okay, this feels significant because it was almost like, here's your do-over. But again, there was so much self-doubt and feelings of inadequacy that still were residing within me, that when that opportunity presented itself a second time, I basically ran away from it again. And looking back in hindsight, it was pretty frustrating to think like, oh wow, this opportunity, who knows what would have resulted had I felt brave enough to pursue it, to say yes to it. But also I can look back and say, okay, what was it that I needed to work on? What was it that I needed to heal inside of me and to develop in order to receive those answers to the big prayers that I was praying? And that sent me on this journey to really decide, okay, do I trust God? And what does it take for me to be able to trust him? And through that process, kind of uncovered these 3 very critical steps, or components, I should say, that need to be working in tandem in order to help us, or at least my experience helped me to develop greater trust and reliance on God. And so if that is something that sounds like what you're looking for, I put together a little PDF that you can download for free that walks you through these 3 areas and a little bit of detail on how to start and approach gaining these pieces into your own life so that you can develop greater self-trust, greater ability to distinguish when God is speaking to you and know that this is coming from him and it's something that you want to accept and be a part of, because he only wants the good and the very best for you. So I just hope that as we continue to say those really faithful and urgent and heartfelt emotional prayers, he's aware, he knows us. And like a good father, he's not going to leave you on red when you reach out to him, or he's not going to be the father that's so engrossed that you're standing there saying, Dad, 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 and waiting for him to respond. That's not how he is, right? He is ever present, all knowing. He's not bound by time or space. He's with us always. And the more that we really get that feeling and that knowledge into us experientially, then the easier it becomes to trust him. And that if he's presenting us with an opportunity, that yes, it may still feel a little intimidating or a little bit scary, but that he will be with us. He will hold us and sustain us through that process that we're ready for, and that he will help us to continue to grow and elevate and be even more prepared to operate in these blessings and in these opportunities that he has provided for us, in his wisdom, in his mercy, in his love, to help us to have joy and to continue to grow and expand so we can experience and create even more. And that is really my goal for myself, and also has become such a passion of mine. And in creating Congruence House as an online platform where we can discuss these deep things that are so critical and crucial to us developing our divine potential and not leaving it locked and buried inside of us because we're fearful or we doubt or we're just unsure how to proceed. And so to create this environment where we're nurturing each other, and as women stepping up to be the very best that we can possibly be, because I know from my own personal experience how much joy, how much energy and motivation and just zest for life that comes from feeling connected to God, more connected in knowing yourself, and then working together to co-create all the beautiful things that you have in you that are just bursting to come out. I think that's honestly some of the discomfort we feel, or the anxiety we feel, or the depression we feel. It's just there's a lot in us. And it's like, why are you leaving it trapped in me? Let it out, let it out. And so this can be that opportunity. So as we pursue prayer, just know he's always there. He's always answering. But we can also be proactive and say, okay, I know I want this thing. What do I need to know? Or what do I need to become in order to receive this gracefully? And as we do this, I promise you, it will just keep getting easier. It will just keep getting better. And you will be surprised by all the beautiful things that will come into your life. And I just testify of these things in the name of Jesus Christ.